Hey, my name is Marty. This channel is called Shut Up and Record. I'm about having fun and putting stuff on YouTube that I want to see, that should be there and isn't, you know? And I'm looking out for people like me. I see myself in you out there. I do videos about obscure gear that I love from the 90s or earlier, or newer gear, maybe budget gear that I think deserves more attention, or that I just like, or maybe I hate it. Or maybe I don't know what I think, and I'll do comparison videos. I always do them level matched. You know, I try to make things as scientifically accurate as I can so you can decide. Not me and not some dipshit getting paid by Sweetwater to tell you if something is awesome or not awesome or whatever. I consistently have like 100, 150, sometimes 200 people that watch the nerdiest shit that I put out. So this may be one of those videos, but I don't think so. I think if you're interested in recording, if you aspire to have that dream studio, well, look, here's what it's like for me personally. And you can relate yourself to me and say, God, I would never do that. Or, man, that's a good idea. So this summer, I just decided, hey, man, I'm tired of being cramped into this little narrow space, which I know does sound good for drums and guitars and stuff. So why don't I take the drums out of the bigger room, move them into the smaller, more controlled room, and then have all this room in the big room to put my gear. So that's what I did. It's been a long time since I've been able to make an actual video with a microphone and really a comprehensive put together video. What I decided to do over the summer, since I knew I couldn't make normal videos, is why don't I just document the journey, which I knew would be harrowing. So I'm just going to compile all these videos into one, get it out of the way so we can move on and get into actual, more produced content. I hope this turns out good. Either way, you know, what's 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Maybe I can make this fucking 4 hours long and really get some view time on my YouTube channel. Back to my shadow band. Goodbye. Okay, so because ultimately I'm thrifty, I refuse to use the word cheap. I'm thrifty. I've got this keyboard. Somebody built a really nice custom stand that fits. I don't have it in the room, but it's a Lowry micro organ something, probably like early 80s, and I kind of bought it for the stand as much as the keyboard, but I am trying to figure out what I'm going to use as my main desk, which will sit right there in the middle. And, you know, the easiest way to get what you want is to just build it, but I don't have time, I don't have energy, I just want to go. And if I build it, now I have another desk, and I have this desk, and I have the desk that's in the other room. Like, what the fuck, right? So, here we go. Here's what I did. I'm about to assemble it, so I've got to drill some holes in this nice top, but I don't give a shit, because even if the keyboard's in there, you wouldn't see it anyways, you know, so I'm just not going to be too precious. This thing is cool. I'm going to, you know, make it work for me. So, start with that, right? And then I want to put two different console pieces. I'd like to put, that guy. The nectar on it. So, here's where I'm at for now. All right, I'm going to do this one-handed. So, starting with this desk, I found this shelf that I had just in the studio, and it almost fits in there. But it doesn't matter because it's only that wide, so it wouldn't do anything for me. The problem I have is, to make this work, I needed a little more this way to put my keyboard. So, if I set that there, hang on a minute. I might have to put the other stuff on first. Hold on. Okay, so bear with me here. If I where's the damn piece? Oh, right here. So I took this piece it is rigid foam insulation, and I cut it to fit there, and then I cut another little strip off of that sucker to go there. Now I'm going to cut it out so that I can try and use these cable holes. But if I set this about like this, all right, and then I don't know if I can do this one-handed, and then I go like this, and I'm going to attach this white piece. This is the one it'll get drilled from the bottom up, so this shelf won't have markings on it. But anyway, so just kind of center it, right? And then if you carefully take this bad boy, this will be just enough weight. It's just getting rigged in here. But this gives me just a little bit of an angle to make it easier to see. It's cheated to one side, so ignore that. But you're starting to get an idea, right? And then this fits here, right? And then the decision is, I really like the idea of putting my monitor controller here, because then let me sit down, as I'm sitting at the desk, you know, I have everything I need and it's like within reach, and I can, because this drummer has a lot of function to it, so I can listen to cut the left or the right, I can flip the phase, I can switch it in mono, I can listen to individual bands, frequency bands, so a lot of different monitoring options that help me as I'm, you know, tracking and mixing to hear my mix in different ways. So I really want it within reach, and so that I'm not leaning and my ears are out of the, you know, sweet spot of the speakers. So cool, but I don't like, because I do like these headphone outputs, and I don't like that they would be constantly sticking out to there. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if I have the camera for that. I do like these headphone outputs right here. Okay, you have two independent ones. And I use them all the time, but this would be, the cable would be sticking out in the way. So that's a problem. So I thought, well, what if I lift it up enough? And I'm like, I don't really like it. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. The other thing is, I thought, man, it would be nice. I have this piece. If I put it on the back, like, you see what I'm saying? It would stick off the back. I might be able to set my freaking Imac right there and have an all-in-one really elegant function. I have those smaller monitors, those Dayton Pro audio monitors that I'm going to try up close for near, like, they're going to be cool. So this may work. I may just try to live with this. Maybe you can buy an adapter, an L adapter, so it could like L out and go around or something. I don't know where I'm going to end up. The other thing is I really like this nectar thing, and there is actually room. Ooh, this is how you break shit. Oh, if you notice, that's missing. I don't know if I broke it off at the shaft. It doesn't look like it. Looks like it snaps in, but I can put it in and turn it, but it's definitely not attached. So this is an issue, man. So we'll have to deal with Softtube customer service and see what happens there. But another video. Anyways, it's a little offset, but I don't care. Or I could move this guy to the right, close enough, like within hand width, or I guess it would be on this little rack right here. That would work. It's just, you know, more fun to have it right in front of you. But if I did move that to the side, let me pull this out. It's really hard to do this all one-handed. But, you know, I'm too lazy to set up you could go like that, and yeah, it doesn't quite fit either. I could maybe, see, I don't want to fucking have to cut it down. This fits two gigantic Electro Harmonics pedals, so like my Memory Man and a White Finger compressor. It was built for those, so it fits perfect. I don't really want to take it apart because it's fun to have those when I want, so maybe I'll just make this work. But if I do that, then the monitor thing is different because it'd have to be way up here, which means I'd have to have a different stand. I don't know, but I love the idea that there's my transport right here if I'm not using my keyboard, which I would just have to get used to that. I use it sometimes, but I've gotten so used to using this, and then I love this zoom switch and a lot of cool things about this nectar. So anyway, it's getting to an exciting part. I think I'm going to drill holes and put her together here right now. Stay tuned. Okay, so I marked off, pre-drilled 3 holes. I found these. Of course, I'm freaking rigging it because I'm too lazy and in a hurry, but I believe that'll give me enough so that it won't drill through the top. We'll see. Here, I'll try and get some kind of action shot here. All right. So I like about, that feels good. Let me go down here, find the, oh, it's going to be close. if I do pop it through, it's not the end of the world, but I mean, there's no reason to other than pure laziness to go find the right size screw. Oh, I can just see it. No, I can't. Yeah, there it is. Just the tiniest of pops. Oh, I think I'm going to get away with it. I mean, it is going to be covered up. And the shelf, I don't even know how long I've had this shelf. It's probably been 10 different places and things. You know, when you get to be old and you've had a bunch of different configurations of studio, stuff gets reused. That's kind of the fun of it for me. You can hear me or not? Oh yeah, that's looking good. Oh, anyways, we got just a tiny little boop, beep. It's worse on this side. This is plenty strong enough. I drilled a third in the middle just in case. But solid as a rock. Now, should be able to set these things up here carefully, one-handed. That's how I broke the knob, is by being like this, lazy one-handed, right? Now, I didn't really check that the cable would fit there, but I know these are made a cool way so the cables come sideways and you don't need any clearance in the back. So that's looking good. Where's my chair? Oh, up here. Biggest thing is, I just felt like I like a lot of space, because a lot of times I'm working like this. I'm probably keeping notes. I probably have freaking coffee. I mean, come on. And how else am I going to spill it in there someday and ruin it if I don't have my coffee right here? And then, so here we are for now. Pretty good. And then let's just walk around the back so you can get an idea of what I was talking about with the only complication is, which I might have to figure it out. Maybe it's low enough. If I attached it here, I might be able to get away with it. And I could run all my cabling underneath there, but it'd be better because it's going to make my monitor lower. But I don't have anything to screw to. Well, maybe I'll make some blocks, but that would involve a lot more. I don't know, man. I'm not going to be too precious with this thing, so I'll put holes in it. Screw it, literally. But, I mean, come on. Looks pretty cool. It's going to be nice. Okay, look at this idea. I got a 48-inch shelf. There's nothing in the middle right now, so it would bow. I'll have to support it. But I'm like, oh, maybe I could do that. Yeah, sure. I could put it in the middle, whatever. But I'm still running into the issue with my monitor. And I do think my eyes and brain will hurt less if I'm a little bit closer to the monitor. Won't have to switch back and forth between the old man reading glasses that I wear now. So if I take this, I'm not going to use this, but this gave me the idea. Okay, so this is all my preamps come through this. I use this as a patch bay. I plan to use it as a patch bay that has inserts and EQ in it. So I could do pretty much anything, treat it like a real console. I could use the preamps, but I'm going to use the outboard preamps. Anyway, so right here, if I'm tracking, I have a band coming in actually. And so when I'm setting everything up, I'm right here. I'm just, the preamps will be wherever they are, but it's going to be cool. So if I mean, it's roughly like this. I'm going to make a custom shelf, I think, using this and a piano hinge or whatever they call those things. Slide it down the hill, and I'm going to be able to set this there. And I think I can do it. Like, this is actually an upside-down homemade guitar pedal board. See how it's got the, it's adjustable? Remember, it's upside down. So if I make this, I can make the shelf go at whatever angle I want, and maybe I can tip this just up enough that it gives me even better, view. And it gets my cables out of the way, and it can all run. here and whatever. I don't know. I just think it's a cool idea. So yeah, I mean, it's two-tone. I think once I get the gear in here, you're never gonna. If you fucking worry that the white and the like, fuck you, get out of here. I don't need that negativity in my life. Yeah, I'm probably gonna think about it occasionally, but still, that is gonna be nice. I like the angle here. I've always wanted just a little bit more of an edge. So if I'm here and I lean up just a little, I'm really gonna be able to see these. And these are really nice looking screens, full color and all that stuff. Bros, it's kind of cool. Kind of excited all of a sudden. And, oh, I still haven't put this anywhere yet, have I? Well, so the nectar would potentially, see, it's just out of sight. But I could also do this. Look at this. 1,000%. Well, let's just do this. All right, so here's my, oh, this is what we're doing. Transport, boink, boink, lean up, got good angles. This, problem solved. The only thing is you'll see these cables, but, oh, well. Yeah, that's dope. I'm living with it. I just hacked those out because it just doesn't fucking matter. And, you know, one of the things that inspired me to make videos on YouTube was watching people be paralyzed because they don't have the exact perfect thing or they're not good at it. And I'm here to tell you that I worked in a lot of, I was lucky enough to be in the, like, behind the scenes in some really cool favorite studios of mine and realized that after the glamour shot of the, you know, that you see on the website, there's a lot of just make it work involved, because the thing is why do I want to spend money here when I could be spending it here or on things that make a sonic difference? This money doesn't make a sonic difference. So, you know, just like me, a lot of your favorite studio owners and engineers also make it work. That's show business, baby. All right. So let's put it together real quick. I'm feeling the faders on my right hand side. So let me get this in there. Eventually we can make it, you know, again, doing this one-handed so I can hold the video. I can balance it, even it out, whatever, after the fact. But those are staying pretty solid. I mean, those aren't going to move. All right, so I like that. I think I'm going to put this fella right here. And this is super sticky, like impossible to move. I could put that on a big angle if I wanted to. And yeah, it has I just never took this off. It's still new to me, even though it's been a friggin' more than a year since I've had it. Probably should do a review on it. But look, check this out. So I can sit here, do everything I need to do. Booyah. Computer goes right there. Monitors, little baby monitors are going there, big monitors are going right here. And then this desk is moving over centered, and after I get some more acoustic control working. But I think it's fucking great. Let's just make this a video. I know it's vertical format and all that stuff, and there's no edits, it's just me rambling and talking, but it'll be interesting to some of you. If it is interesting, you know, hit like so that the algorithm will go. If you hate it, tell me you hate it. Leave a comment. Leave a dislike, because that'll also make the algorithm go. If a bunch of people hate this video, it's just as good as if a bunch of people like this video. The worst thing is if a bunch of people don't fucking do anything. Don't be one of those fuckers. Fucker. Goodbye. So, this is all wired in. This is all wired in. Don't mind the cables. That's all wired in. Left to do is I'm going to take this, which is a mix, that's a summing mixer, 32 channels, and I'm actually going to, just to save cables and make it convenient, once I get the rest of my patch bays in here, then I'm going to mount this. I've got little 2-space mounting brackets. I'm going to mount them halfway, and then it'll just sit just like this. So then I can just take those shorty, like, see those little cables, the little shorty cables, and I can just come straight out of the, or actually I could come straight out of the, let's pretend it goes up here, all right? I could come straight out of the converters, boink, straight into this, just without any connections, just straight wire, or I could come straight out and whatever. It's just going to be super convenient to make this like a patch bay, because there is no need to get to the front. There's nothing on the front, so I'm excited about that. And there's the, well, no, that's a video for another day. But here we go. Everything is powered. Everything, all channels are wired in. You know, that mixer is, we'll get more in depth, but it's just all, I could be running signal today. The only thing I have left to do is I'm going to use these bars, and I'm going to connect this from here to here, because this doesn't have any XLRs. You have to wire pigtails on there. So I figured it'll be fun. I'll just straight wire from here to here, and then out, I'll put pigtails on it to hit these two. Because this is one, these are channels. It goes channel 1, channel 2. Right? So that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, except for it's actually just 2. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? Come on. You got to be smarter than that. You got to figure it out. So there's that. The place is still chaotic, but it's coming together. I have a plan for all of my bass trapping that's going to go up in the front, and then some first reflection stuff on the walls. And it actually sounds really good in here already. I've been just getting my mind blown just listening on the monitors and stuff. I don't have the little Dayton Pro Audios hooked up yet. Those are passive, and I'm going to use, I had been using a cheap little thing, but I'm going to get this, my stereo. It's just a, what is it, a Sansui? No, it's a oink. Oh my God. Anyways, I'll cut that part out. I can't say the word right now. All right, yeah, so here you go. And maybe just, I don't know if you understand how neat this looks, but this is pretty neat. And it will get tightened up here. So really the next big thing is this rack over here is all my preamps. So that has to get wired into the snakes that are going to run into the live room. And then the outputs of this are going to run across. They're one of the only cables we're going to step on, and it's going to come to here. And I'm going to build a little rampy platform over it. But, you know, they'll just be like a little channel box right there. Boinky. So I'm not stepping and tripping on them. And I am going to put one. This is a double. These are 2 RNCs. I'm going to put one of them on the insert, because this is actually a mixer. It's a summing mixer also. So I can, if I choose to, I can run any or all of these 8 preamps into this mixer. So like you could do your drum kit, zoink, throw a compressor on it, whatever. It's just going to be flexible. I've got a bunch of these. I'm going to do it that way. And then the other one, I think I'm actually going to just, maybe I'll put it on a patch bay, but so that I could take like 2 channels of the Sci-Tech, or 2 channels of the DAB, or the whatever, 2 channels of anything, and hit a stereo compressor just for the fun of it. And over on this wall is going to be preamps, and then there'll be my whole guitar and keyboard rigs will all be over here. And then for now, I still have that Midas 32 channel Midas Venice over there. We'll probably push it over there. And then I'm also, if I have the room, which I'm sure I will, I may patch this thing in so we could hit it with any kind of signal, you know, and just hit the electronics on it and see what that thing sounds like. So that might be fun. Cool. Let's just make it as flexible but as easy and quick to use as possible, so I can be as creative as possible. That's the plan. So I'm wiring up stuff. Power cables. So this is wired. There's going to be a rack that sits there that'll be powered off of that. Everything right now is powered off of that monster, including the computer, and I think I might pop that all out of there. I don't know, but it looks pretty good right now. I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, that's pretty organized. And then these cables and whatever, but we'll tighten all this junk up. We'll see. I might end up giving the computer its own power conditioner. We're worried about power surges and stuff, you know. Yeah, okay then. That's what it looks like. I'm leaving for the day. moving this. So here's the desk. That's an open door over there, so ignore the mess. What I'm looking at right now is I'm gonna put these, it'll be about 18 inch of pink fluffy, 18 inches thick. And I'm gonna put it on what will be the front wall. And I'm debating exactly how I'm gonna do it. If you look here, I've got my main breaker box for the whole building right there. I need access to that. I don't want to put anything, you know, flammable near it, just for, because it would not be a good idea. I just need to be able to get to it. So trying to solve that problem. I've got this bookshelf which is actually covering an old window, and I use the air conditioner, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this, if I'm going to abandon it, bury it, entomb it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but thinking about it. Then behind that curtain is actually a door. Maybe I'll walk in here. It's a little bit cluttered, but so there's like 6 layers of heavy blanket, and then see that? It's an original exterior door, which has a storm door that's sealed shut. So it's actually pretty soundproofing wise. Not a lot of sound comes and goes through it, but I'm going to have this shelf, which I don't want to move. And then if you look up there, that's actually like probably 2 feet at its deepest point of pink fluffy in both sides. This is stuffed with pink fluffy behind it, behind just a moving blanket. But I'm just, the other thing is, so this is an old, it's actually, this probably won't make the video, but that wall there is sitting on the edge of a loading dock, and I'm about 2 feet higher than we used to be, and this used to be a dairy. This post right here is actually the center of this loading area, this garage. So I'm standing like with my back to where there used to be garage doors, and in the, you know, 20s and 30s and 40s, 50s, the ice and milk trucks would back in there, and they would get loaded on, and then they'd go out and deliver your glass bottles of milk, so when you woke up it was sitting on your porch. But that's where I'm at right now. Anyway, my idea is I'm going to hang 2x4s, and I'm going to drape the insulation over it, so when I go like this, it'll hang and it'll float, and it's a way to attach, you know, it'll hang down one side and down the other side like this. So the 2x4 is right there, right? So you see what I'm saying? Then they'll go together, and that'll give me 18 inches. I believe I'm going to get a better, let me step back out. I'd have to edit this video a little bit. Oh yeah, also I need room. This is how you get to the live room. So this door needs to be able to swing and be out of the way. So I think what I'm going to do is have it come down and stop right above that and come across like this, and there'll just be a little opening, and maybe I'll do the back wall. Speaking of the back wall, I believe 18 inches just kissing the wall is going to give me slightly lower resonance than the space. And I know, like, if I leave a space behind my 703 things, I can actually increase the depth. But that is not pink fluffy, and I believe that it's better to have thicker right up against the harder thing. But the beauty of my system is I can move it back and forth and really test it, and maybe I will, unless it sounds perfect, which I think it's gonna. But here's the deal. I've got those things there. Those, like this thing sticks out farther than 18 inches. So how am I going to hang it right at 18 inches so it's touching the wall? My plan is I'm going to nail it along that ceiling joist where I know I have a good nailer. And then I'm going to, you see, that is a 16-inch shelf. Might even be 18. It might be thicker than 16. Doesn't matter. The point is this. I'm going to, they'll start there, and then they'll start there, and then they'll actually slightly angle back. I think I'm going to run a wire, like a tension wire. So I'll put them up there, they'll hang, and I can listen to them hanging, hold on. I can listen to them hanging straight, so there would be a space of like maybe a foot behind them. And then I'm going to push them back so they come and they go in at this height, and so they make kind of an angle, so the corner has got a deeper depth, and then they touch the wall everywhere that they can. That probably doesn't make sense. Maybe I'll inset what I finish up with. But, well, anyways, if I use this, if I end up using this tension wire that would stretch all the way across, I can move it back to the point where they come. So if we're got a side view, it goes like this and then straight down. So that when I hang them, they're straight. Then I put the tension wire in and it pulls them back at a certain height. So I get a little bit of that, which just feels cool, looks cool, and I believe will add even more depth. I don't know. And, you know, I'm like, what am I going to do with the shit on that shelf? You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm just going to freaking leave it up there. It'll just be hidden now. Forget about it. Years from now, I'll be like, oh, yeah. I don't use those speakers. One of those is totally blown. They're really cool speakers. They're just going to go in the tomb. And the piano, it's a lucky piano. It can sit up there. But yeah, so that's a project I'm trying to freaking get done. Once that's done, I can really I'll know how much more, like wiring wise, I'll be able to tuck and hide everything else and make it nice and clean. And then basically I can start working. So I'm getting close. So I just installed these eye hooks. They can hold 700 pounds of downward pressure. There's one right about there, somewhere in there. And it's going to hold that piece of 2x4 you see on the ground there. And then I'll figure out what I'm going to do with the sides here in a minute. But I think I'm going to try and install it about 6 inches away, because then the thickness of the insulation will touch the ceiling and it'll give me just total coverage. And I don't know how much it matters. There's one argument that would say let the air pass, go behind it, hit, and get trapped. The other half says, well, it just adds to the thickness, the depth overall. I don't know, honestly. With bass trapping, I found it's hard to screw up. It's hard to get too much, so just go for it. Is it the most efficient? Maybe, you could tweak some things. But that's the fun of this, is experimentation. Don't be afraid to do that. Quickly, got various things, a chain. I just had them cut me a foot per, you see a big bag of stuff in here, but so I had room to play. And it's like, I don't think I want to hang it low. I think I might take, so there's 2 different sizes. This won't fit through the chain. I had these. So I'm going to actually see if I can use these, because they're already paid for. I mean, I paid for everything. I didn't steal it, but I own these ahead of time. I got 2 of them. Maybe I'll hang the board directly just using one of these, and that'll save me money, and I'll have stuff available for other, because I'm sure I'll find more places I want to hang stuff. So we're going to try that. So what we're going to do, I guess I'll show you, is, don't mind the mess, but this can go in here, and it can attach at the top, and it'll just hang that long. And I think this is like 2.5, 3 inches close to it. And that's probably 3 inches plus. So enough. Wait, where's it at? Doesn't matter. You can't really see it. Anyways, probably enough for me to slide something that's half this thick through. And if it's a tiny bit compressed right there, I don't give a fuck. Okay, this is how you break stuff, because I'm too lazy. I think I'm not gonna worry about moving the turntable. And I'm gonna install it. And if I drop it, boom, smashes my turntable. I cry and think, why am I such a lazy asshole? But if you're a lazy asshole, you know what that's like. And I mean, what are you gonna do about it? Nothing I can do about it. That's not true. I'm confident. That's why I'm not messing with it. But see what that looks like? So now I'm just gonna bring that eye hook that's in that piece of wood. Maybe I'm zooming in right now. Right there. So I'll take one more before shot here. So here it is before. In just a minute, you're gonna see that board up there. Okay, first complication. You see that beam right there? That's actually the center of this roofing system above our heads, even though there's a partition wall there. If you'll notice where that eye hook is, can you see it? See this beam right here in your face? If I put this on, it's gonna bump into that. So I have to use some chain and get it to run below this. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I'm just sitting here struck by the idea that maybe that shelf might be better somewhere else. And the thought process to get there is, if I were to just drape this stuff straight down, it's way too close to the back, way too close to my monitors and stuff. I need to be able to easily move around back there. And if it's right there, I will be banging into it and pushing up against it at all times. And I just don't think this is something I want to be like moving a lot. I want to get it up and let it sit there. And I don't want to have to be squeezing and knock my calamity. So my thought is, well, if I take that shelf down, we can have it come out there and drape back and then be tied against the wall and come straight down flat against the wall. I know that 18 inches of pink fluffy would be really nice on that wall. I know it would sound good. Damn it. If I decide to take this thing down, it's probably not gonna get insulation wrapped and hung today. So I don't know. What do you think? Well, stick around to see what I did. I had forgotten a cheap little 16 channel snake that's back there, and my awesome, can you read that? So there's what I was covering up. Okay, so here's a closer look at this clip. Check this out. This is the front. I think it's two-way here. Yep. It's got a big woofer on the back that blasts back at the wall. Check the date on that piano. Pretty cool. Dirty as hell. Just a public service announcement. I know it's funny to me, people's attitudes towards CDs. And, I actually saw it when vinyl LPs became like, nobody wanted them, and they tossed them and they threw them away. And I just can't believe people didn't learn their lessons from that. I'm telling you, even better than an LP, they weren't protected in plastic, so they could get damaged and you'd lose the artwork, right? These, doesn't matter. They all look good unless they're the few that I have that were actually, cardboard. Like, let's take a look at. Oh, this is a cool record. It's in pretty good shape, but Faircat is an incredible band from Washington, D.C. There's a La Savvy Fab. What was the same? I remember wanting to do that and not being able to afford it when we were making our records. But the thing is, I would think I could feel myself saying, you know what, I don't own the record, but I've got it on the digital file somewhere, or even if you're streaming it through one of the double streaming services, at least I have the actual art and the actual record I can hold in my hand, and it's an enhanced experience. So you people who think CDs aren't worth anything, you're wrong. Well, here's this 2000. Here's an interesting thing. Number one, I think that's my drum kit. It is, and that's actually recorded. It's in that room over there, but that's me at, I think it was an 8-track, cassette 8-track, but that's one of the oldest pictures I have me working on something fun. Zoink. I've kind of taken everything down. I'm going to move the CDs just because it's like, I'm going to have to cover this up. Yes, it's a nice bookshelf to use, but see how I can see daylight right there? Okay, that's sound going in and out. So I'm going to seal it up tighter. I'm going to build some sort of a box that directs the cold air down to the floor. It's heavier, right? So I think that once I get it down on the floor, it'll put a little fan there and blow it out into the room, is my idea, because you need that in the summertime. And then maybe I'll just stuff blankets or something in there. Or maybe, I mean, I just don't want to get, I guess I can wrap. Maybe I'll make wrapped pink fluffy and just go foom, foom, foom. That'd be the best way, most consistent way, and pack it up top. And then I'm just going to make this entire wall pink fluffy, probably 18 inches deep. And it's going to be awesome. I know it'll sound good. I know it will. I know it will. And if it doesn't, I'll fix it. We did major destruction. That shelf is gone. The window plug, which is the bookshelf, is still there. It's going to stay there. It's like one piece, just to give you an idea. I built this like a box, and then that is integrated into it. So it can slide out if that were to die. I just have that much room to put a new one in. And then this is solid. So it's a mess right now. It's definitely not inspiring. So I'm doing a listen right now because I'm like, man, I should just sit down and see if I can really hear something. And it's totally unscientific because your brain can psychosomatically, convince yourself or whatever. But what I'm listening to, I have this playlist here that I use for setting up my speakers. Where's the one? I've used Sultans of Swing forever. I'm not going to play it because I don't know what they'll do if I play the music. But super clean, super stereo, lots of definition and separation. And so I can always tell if I, where the middle is. And I've just heard it so many times. I know what it should sound like. I know. And anyway, the bottom end is a mess right now. Like I realize I'm struggle. I don't hear that definition. It's not full. It's just I can't even know. I don't know the word for it, but it's just like, instead of like you see the fine definition of the object, it's like you see the object, you know what it is, but if you look closely, the edges are just kind of like just turn into mush. It's not as defined. So definitely I have fucked up the sound of my room, so I've got to get this wall built. But it made me feel better because I'm positive once I get what I'm going to do back on there, it's going to sound fucking great again. So, and that's what it is. That lack of definition is the bass building up and going and just like being mushy. Like it's not getting soaked up. Very interesting. I don't know if I like this or not. All right, sometimes I think it pays to be, there's such a fine line between genius and stupid. And I believe I walk that line every day. But I'm pretty happy with what just happened and the way I was able to get this thing up. So you see the monitors here, right? I know there's a reflection point above them right up there. Have all my gear here. I should have, put that stuff up prior to this, but just doing this by myself and really not having a clear understanding, this kind of built itself. I sat here and just kind of let it assemble, and I can't, some other video I'll explain that, but I'm like, how the hell am I going to do this? Well, I managed with 2 ladders and gigantic, I was able to get one in, so maybe I'll do a video of me putting the other one in, and that way if it falls, just gotta find the goddamn, I can't find anything in this place, find the tripod. But yeah, so look, now as I'm sitting here, above, you see that? That's over an inch, or I mean over a foot of pink fluffy. I mean, this looks ugly, but fuck you. Sometimes you just gotta have the nuggets to do it. Oh yeah. Oh shit, don't fall too far. Right, that's not a good development there. Oh, I see what I did. It's like turning over on itself. I got way further ahead than I needed to. Sonically, I'm positive it's gonna make a difference on here.